Friends. Ledge. Man. Just.
Must read.
This book.
Must read. Oh, wait. I got a whole new bottle of wine.
Oh! Excuse me?
I got another.
Just that. Yeah, man. Yeah, buddy.
I figured we'd go through this one, so I was like, let's get another.
I love me some wine.
Jenna, on a level of 1 to 5, how drunk are you?
I am a 4. I have been drunker, but not many on a Sunday night.
Same girl, same. How have we gotten drunk? We've just...
Wine.
Wine.
And how weird does Shelby's boyfriend think we are? Very.
Nah, he loves us. Oh! he loves us. He loves us.
Wait, one
Did
more.
we ask him to be in our videos?
Perhaps. Did
Perhaps.
he say no? Yes.
Oh, but he did. He did do the.
He did do the
frame
arms and the
lean.
door frame, and sometime we will convince him to do that on camera.
Hell yeah, we will.
My husband has also softly committed to giving me the book boyfriend activities in person, and we'll see. We'll see how we can convince that.
We can convince him.
We're very convincing. Sorry.
This is gonna be a fun episode.
I hope y'all are ready. Buckle in.
Buckle in. We are drinking right now. Oh wait, no. What book are we talking about?
All right, should we start from the beginning here?
Let's start from the beginning.
Start
Here we
over.
go.
Yep.
We are talking about Ledge
Ledge.
by Stacey McEwan.
Stacey McEwan.
Oh,
Stacey, I love you.
I love you.
I love you. I love this book.
You're so funny. We were literally just telling our boyfriends about how we need to convince him to be a book boyfriend because of your TikToks.
Yes. I've been following you for years and your whole series about teaching your husband to be a book boyfriend.
Oh my god, it's
amazing.
So funny.
Inspirational.
So
Definitely was
funny.
a specific inspiration for picking up this book, Ledge. And I'm so glad I
100%.
did. Because, okay, Shelby.
You recommended this.
Spoiler-free rating. What was your spoiler-free rating? Like, just out of 5 stars. 4.5 stars. That's really fucking good.
4.5.
I also gave it 4.5 stars. Okay, if you had to give, like, a few thoughts, spoiler-free.
Dawson Zabar is living on the ledge.
Yes.
And that's all she knows.
Yes.
Every year, we have these things called glacians that come along, and they take the humans. And Dawson is the first human to make it across the ledge alive.
Yeah, well, it's not even just, like, I feel like it's not even just that, though, right? But I feel like getting further into that gets into spoilers, right? But she is taken. I think that's probably the most important part. She is taken.
Taken.
Although I think anybody who's read fantasy books could probably guess that she is special.
She is special. As all humans that are taken are.
Correct. I also gave this book 4.5 stars. And the only reason it didn't get 5, I love you, Stacey, but the spicy scenes did make me cringe ever so slightly. It was... There were some things about him that were nice, but it did read a tiny bit awkward for me. Just a little. It was a little bit too much of, like, trying to use phrasing from other popular spicy scenes in my mind. And it just, I felt a little bit uncomfortable reading it, enough that it, like, brought me out of the moment a little. But I loved everything else about the story, which is part of why it still got 4.5 stars.
I read this book so fast. I feel like in the
24
hours. 100%, same here. In the last night when I was finishing up and reading it, I was sitting there and I was like, oh my god. Like, I was like making these, like, audible noises.
Yes.
Oh my god. I keep clinking my wine glass.
Chink. chink, chink.
Did you hear that sound? That was actually pretty cool. Okay. If you can't tell by all of our other podcasting videos,
this is maybe the drunkest we've been so far. So.
I think so too. We
Cheers
also
to that,
love
spicy book lovers.
All right, ready? Oh my God, we love a good wine clink. This is our thing.
Oh, we love a good wine clink.
Ready, Jenna?
I'm ready, Shelby. This is the most chaotic start to any episode we've had.
I love it. It's a Sunday night. We're filming. We're doing all the things. Ready?
Okay, back to Ledge.
Back to Ledge.
Fucking
okay.
love Ledge.
Spoilers.
Do we have nothing else spoiler free we can say?
No. We're getting into it.
All right, babes.
Nah.
If you haven't read Ledge, go and read it now, and
Please
then
go
come
read it,
back
though, because you're gonna love it.
and read this because you need to listen to this episode. But
this
also,
is so good.
you need to read this book.
It's so good. It's so good. All right, Jenna.
Right.
What was your favorite part of the book?
Okay, I feel like I've said this before. I love. It's like, again, not exactly a trope, but the scenes where like he's carrying her when they're flying, and it's like they're like, oh, I'm trying to pretend like I can't be comfortable and settle into it, but really it just feels so nice. Fucking love that.
Love.
So that was one of my favorite scenes. Also, okay, let me find it. I have another scene that was tabbed in pink because that was my like love
Is that your
thing.
spicy? Oh my God.
Oh no, not even spicy, just loves thing. And it was oh gosh, I gotta figure out where this was. Hold on, you can cut this part out. So just chill for a sec.
You're good.
It was some part after they've like kind of told each other their histories and stuff, and he was like looking at her and just like noticing her, and he goes, and every second he knows he should stop, leave her be. He knows he can't possibly let her go because she is his and he is hers. And I was like,
oh my God, fucking preach. That was one of my favorite parts.
I loved that. So that and the part when he's like, I mean, there's multiple scenes where he's carrying her, but I always love a scene when they're carrying her and they're flying and they're like, she's trying to pretend like she doesn't like it, but like in her mind, she's doing the like, oh, it just feels so nice. I feel so safe. This feels so good.
And then she can look at the ground and she was like,
oh, and the stars.
Wait, no. Oh my God, I'm looking at all of the things
and
and I
the
feel
stars.
safe.
Yep.
Oh my God, I loved that scene too.
Totally reminding me of Surfing in the Wings of Night.
Absolutely.
That scene, yep.
But better.
Yes.
Better. I felt like this one was actually better.
Yes.
I loved it.
Oh, I love that scene. What about you? What were some of the scenes that you loved most?
Okay. So one of my favorite scenes was at the very end of the book where they get pushed off of the ledge.
Yes.
I was like, holy fucking shit. Like, I knew something was going to happen, clearly, because they're like, they'd been pushed into that, like, magical, inky, magic-y well. I pictured it like the bathtub of ACOTAR.
Oh, that wasn't quite how I pictured it, but yeah, I could see that too.
I mean, it wasn't a bathtub, but, like, we didn't get a whole lot of information on, like, what the bathtub actually looked like.
We probably didn't. That is so fun, though, to hear the difference of, like, it is really funny how different people picture the same item. Because, like, for whatever reason in this book, I really pictured it as, like, think when you're in a really fancy courtyard and there's a fountain that has, like, water with, like, a small round pool in the middle that's, like, flat with the floor.
Yes.
So I pictured it more like that, like a small round pool flat on the floor.
Yeah.
Versus in ACOTAR, I literally pictured it like a giant black witch's cauldron, like, with little feetsies on it and shit.
And that's what I pictured it like, but, like, level with the ground, because they had to be pushed into it. So it was like that, but, like, level with the ground.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Sorry. No, I love it. So cheers. I thought it was so... Cheers. Cheers. Fuck yeah. Nobody saw anything.
You didn't see anything?
You didn't see anything. We're not drunk. It's
Shh. That didn't happen. I don't have wine on my nose. Or book.
Oh my god.
Remember when we tried to answer those like bookish, I don't know, wasn't bookish
Oh
bad
my god,
habits?
and you spilled the wine on your book?
Yeah, there was something we had answered. So I think it was It Gets Good. Is that how we did that?
No, it was the 73 Vogue questions.
No, there was a thing on Instagram that we did that we answered.
Oh, yes, it was It Gets Good. It was their like template that they had out.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to It Gets Good, it's another really
they're pretty
awesome bookish podcast. But they had a template that was talking about just like different things you've done while you were reading, and one of them was specifically spill on a book. And this is now the second time that I have spilled on a book.
So funny.
While recording this podcast. So I think it's an overall issue.
I have so many wine spills on my books.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Okay, so
Okay,
anyway.
Going back. Fell into the pool.
Is
Pushed into the
coming
pool.
out of the pool / bathtub like this.
Of magic.
And she's realized that she's taken the magic. And now,
Taken the magic.
and they get brought up to the ledge. And the talons in the shoulder blades, and they get pushed off of the ledge.
Did you think, okay, in that moment,
No.
Did you thought he was awake and he was being like good at hiding?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
me too.
I thought so too. But also, I was kind of curious because I was also like, he seems a little dead. He seems a little dead
He
inside.
seems a little dead.
So I was like, hold up. I couldn't tell.
I thought there was no way. There was no way that in that moment. Well, especially, so I think I didn't necessarily expect that it was their plan to be captured. But then once she said, that was exactly what we wanted to happen. And I was like, oh, okay, this was supposed to happen.
All right, girl, I guess.
Because I did think about that earlier. There was a scene, like, much earlier. I'm not going to find where that tab was. But there was a scene much earlier where when she's kind of being told about how the pool works. And they say, like, oh, you take the magic and, oh, it's, you know, we think it's kind of like a conscious choice, and that they kind of lull you into just accepting to give away
and
your
she's
Iskra
like,
or whatever.
oh, so you mean it's a trick? Oh,
Right.
so you mean I can work around it?
Right. And so I definitely saw that, like, from the beginning. I had a feeling that was going to come back around.
I did too.
And so
I was hoping it would happen.
Yeah, and so I didn't necessarily expect that she was going to get caught like that. But I did, as soon as they got caught, I was like, oh, for sure. But I definitely felt like they both were faking it and saying that they had, like, lost their soul and that was their plan. Yeah, but I didn't necessarily understand what I thought their plan was from there.
Agreed.
So I was like, okay, well, what does getting thrown into the chasm help you?
Right.
Like, I think that was where I was a little lost. I was like, okay, how is this helping you get further?
And that's why I think I had such, like, a gut reaction when they get thrown into the chasm. He seems like he's out of it / dead / whatever.
Right. Falling
just like limply. And then he's screaming his name, and he opens up his
pop
wings,
open.
which so
Good
that
visual.
was my favorite part of the entire book.
Oh, yes.
Did you notice when he first opened his wings how she said, "Oh, he's got a great wingspan, bigger than the others." We love a good wingspan.
We know what wingspan represents.
We know what that means.
Glad that his is bigger than the others.
We are very glad.
Also, that he's confident enough that he can put his away without feeling like they always have to be out.
Agreed.
Oh, I cannot wait. I know I've talked about this before, and I don't really think this is ruining anything, but I know I've talked about Ice Planet Barbarians.
Oh my god, I still haven't read it.
Before. Did you like any of the cave scenes where they're like having a cuddle is so close?
Yes. I fucking loved those scenes.
Read Ice Planet Barbarians.
But also, do you remember that I loved those scenes in The Serpent and the Wings of Night?
Yes.
I was like,
yes.
Oh man, that's what the spicy scenes were. Oh my god.
Shelby.
Yeah.
You need to read Ice Planet Barbarians. I know. Okay, hear me out. I understand that the name
I want to read it.
is going to throw you off. I understand. You hear Ice Planet Barbarians and you look at those covers and you're like, damn, this looks like a romance novel that my grandmother wants to read. But I swear to God, not only is it a beautiful like love story, but it is also a really entertaining sci-fi story and a story of a woman that is leading a group of women in a really tough situation. Like it's a story of a good leader.
Yes.
And beyond that, there's a great cave scene that is really hot, and I just
hell yeah. Oh, so. Hell yeah. But also, do you remember, so when I was doing my first ACOTAR read, you were reading Ice Planet Barbarians, and you were
doesn't surprise me.
And no, I remember it so distinctly.
I don't.
Because I remember, like, I read a lot as a kid, but I did not read a lot as an adult. And so I read ACOTAR, and I was like, damn, girl, what you got me reading?
Yeah, I forced her into that.
Hey, you brought me into a good life, damn girl. But I remember, so I was doing ACOTAR, you were doing Ice Planet Barbarians, and I was like, I'm sorry, what? We would have these, like, sessions at the end of the week where you just sit on your couch and talk about our books, and you would tell me about the Ice Planet Barbarians, and I would be like, what in the fuck, Knuckles?
Okay, but low-key, as much as this story is none Ice Planet Barbarians, don't get me wrong, but the fact that it is an icy ledge and that there is a love story between not the same people, it does give Ice Planet Barbarian vibes in the best possible way. Don't get me wrong, it's the best possible way, but it does give Ice Planet Barbarian vibes, and I was for it the whole time. Every time that there was a scene like that, I definitely could see the inspiration there, and I could not be more for it.
Oh, yeah. So, Jenna, let's talk about what we're drinking. Because I specifically got this wine.
A lot.
Because of the book that we're reading.
We're drinking ice cold wine.
Ice cold wine for the ice cold ledge.
Wow. That was like some, was it the ASMR? No, I want to hear that ice cold ledge.
Wait.
That's what I want to hear from you again.
That tickles my brain.
So back to ledge.
Oh, back to ledge, sorry.
Back to ledge. Okay. I have to say, okay, so let's go back to talking about spicy scenes.
Oh, yeah.
I would say for me, the pacing of the spicy scenes, perfect.
Yes,
I thought
agreed.
The slow-paced romance
we love a slow burn.
Through, like, you know, you get a little bit of a kiss, and then he pulls away, and then you get a little bit more, and then he pulls away. Like, that, I thought that pacing, excellent.
Same.
I do feel like I don't know if it was, like, the terminology or what, but, like, once we got to some real spicy scenes, I felt like it's like ever so slightly uncomfortable, but I really felt like the timing of them was really well done.
Exactly. Like, it's so we were talking about it a little bit earlier, and we were just like talking brief overview about the book because we haven't talked about it since we read it. But like, we were like, yeah, the spicy scenes, they were a little awkward. And it's like the timing, fantastic. But like there was something about it that was just like, it wasn't forced. It wasn't weird. It wasn't really like maybe he was holding back, or maybe she was holding back, because from some point of view it seemed like it was just like somebody doesn't want this as much as they say they do.
I love Stacey. I think you did a great job. I think it was maybe
love this book.
Just a learning experience of how to write those scenes. I think that's how I felt about it.
I could see that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because honestly, from his perspective, where he was like, oh my God, I've wanted this since the day that I met you, I was like, oh, preach. Tell me you want me more.
Yeah.
But then it was like, the anticipation was fantastic, and then the actual scene was like,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. I think for me, sometimes how I feel like authors describe a female climax, I find a little like, well.
Okay, honestly, same though, because I feel like a lot of the times in books, they're like, she came like a waterfall.
It was an explosion. I'm like,
it's not usually, not for me. It's not an explosion.
Be, but that's not the only way.
Exactly. It's like, there are other forms of pleasure where I feel like some books have done like really, really, really well with like describing like all forms of pleasure.
Like Amber Palmer.
It's next. It's next on my list, I promise you. I promise.
I'm sorry. I swear to God, you guys are probably sick of me talking about Amber Palmer.
No,
but I swear to
definitely
God,
not at all. Because I'm
When
like, I
I
can't wait to
think-
fucking read this.
when I
series.
think of well-written spicy scenes, I'm telling you, I have never read better spicy scenes than I have with Amber Palmer.
Get it, girl. Get it, girl. Damn.
Every time, I just need you to know.
If you need spicy Rex, Amber Palmer.
Amber Palmer. Okay, but really, Amber, I love you.
Oh my god. Okay, honestly, now I really need to read this book.
I'm sorry, guys. I swear I'm not normally this drunk for this.
I know, I love it. This is so fun. So another book that I have read that it probably is like the most memorable for spicy scenes is Axif, A Court of Silver Flames.
Classic.
Because it also describes all forms of womanly pleasure. It's not just like, oh, he stuck his thing inside of her and she
The thing went in the
exploded.
thing, and
It's
the thing
like-
exploded.
No, there is so much else. Which,
Yeah.
okay, the one thing that they did describe is like, oh, he put his thumb on her. I don't know if I could say that.
I mean, we
I'm
are
sure
an
I could.
adults-only podcast.
We are an adult podcast, but like, he put his thumb on her clit, and then it sounds so weird to say on
so
camera.
clinical.
I'm sorry, that's what I say. And so it like does talk about like clit stimulation, which I think is great because I feel like most women come by that. It's not just by penetration, so like, come on, let's get with the times. But like, I really, really, really enjoyed that there was that, but I felt like it was just short. I feel like women usually take a lot longer, especially if there's like other things that need to happen in there. So
That's why I was like, I there's a lot of things I love about this book. That was the only reason it wasn't a 5. I think it would have been a 5 if I had liked how the spicy scenes were written just a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I also understand, I've got to imagine as a writer, those are like kind of hard scenes to write.
oh, absolutely,
Like that's gotta be kind of awkward, or like awkward feeling to write.
like awkward, like I was just saying it.
Yeah, so I get that for sure.
100%.
But one thing I did really love about this book and their spicy scenes is the fact, and I think I said this about Amber Palmer's book too. But
We are Amber Palmer stans.
But the thing that I said about other books that I've read is I love that our female main character comes in not as a blushing virgin. She comes in and she has already had meaningful sexual experiences with someone else.
Meaningful as in like...
Substantial, right.
Well, substantial, yes. But I think that she was like, we do it for fun. We do it because we need to get it out.
Right, like not meaningful in an emotional way.
As like a soulmate standpoint or
right,
anything.
but meaningful in that there was full sexual experiences that she has acknowledged that like, hey, this is a want and a need that's there, and this is a human body thing, and we will do what we need to
like,
take care of that.
No awkwardness, nothing.
Right.
Like, we are two people.
Yes. And I
loved it.
And I think that's one of the things. So somewhere in here, I remember her mentioning that she's 24. And I think that's part of it is that's an adult age, right?
Yes.
Like we've talked about YA versus adults. And I think sometimes that's why I do better with romance in more adult age books, because I really appreciate that her view towards sex and love and family is
She
so
had
different.
adult views,
Yes.
which we relate to so much more, and I feel like that's what makes a book so much more like popular, I guess, is like its relatability. And so for this one specifically, like, even though she lived on a ledge in the middle of fucking nowhere, I felt so related to her. And so I loved her. As you said in the last podcast, I rooted the fuck out of her. I liked her. What did you think of her as a main character?
I really liked her a lot. I felt like she was a really nice balance of like a strong female character that you want to root for because you genuinely think she's stronger than others. But I think, so we've been talking about the Shatter Me series, and we've talked about how Juliet, the main character in that book, is like overly confident in a way that we don't feel like is backed up with her actual abilities or actions. And I feel like in this book, I really liked that Dawson was strong in a way that you could actually back up with her actions. And so I felt like you genuinely wanted to root for her in doing better, like in improving the
100%.
world. Like you really felt for her and you felt her compassion and her feelings for that. And it made me like her as a main character so
Agreed.
much more than a lot of other books that I've read recently.
100%. And I feel like giving this a little bit of a connection, not like plot wise or anything to ACOTAR, but like in the very first book, when you like get to know Feyre first, you know who she is, what she's gone through, you go through the same exact thing with Dawson. And I was like, so I know her before anybody else is introduced. You know her daily life, you know what she's going through, you know what she's gone through. You see some of her experiences firsthand, and then things happen.
Yes. And I feel like Stacey does a really good job. I think we talked about this in when you were reading Mistborn too.
Yes.
That I feel like Stacey also did a really good job at introducing who Dawson is as a person really quickly with the world of the ledge and everything that's always going on. And so I felt like it took only 30 pages to understand who Dawson was as a person. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you either get a lot of world building or a lot of character building and not both. And I feel like Stacey did a really great job at strongly developing both pieces of it.
Yes.
So as soon as, and I mean, I think it's probably clear because we've read Fantasy before, like, it's clear Dawson's going to be picked up next, right? Like, we know that's coming.
Well, I actually read the synopsis before I read it.
Wow, look at you. That's the first time.
You guys, I'm moving up in the world.
But I do think that
it says she's going to be picked up next.
Right, but I feel like we had enough, like we genuinely had enough good background before that happened to make that significant. And I think that's part of why this was a book that I couldn't put down. I read this book
the first page.
Fast. I literally read this book in 24 hours. I read it so fast. My husband was sleeping on my lap, and I was holding the book over his face so that I could keep reading because I had to know what Dawson was doing.
Next. It's so funny that you say that because my first note is, what a fucking way to start the story with the hands. And then I said, MC Dawson is fucking ruthless. She was.
Did she remind you of Aurea?
Hesitate. No.
No?
She was above Aurea.
Yeah?
Because Aurea was like from Start and the Wings of Night. She was great, but I also felt like she had so much personal development that had to be done that I felt like
she had more growing to do before she could grow into the place that she was.
Right, where I felt like Dawson had done so much growing and realizing that her thoughts are her own and what she wants is going to be, and this is who I am and this is how I feel, that her actions never seemed questioned. She's like, this is what I'm gonna do.
So I don't know if you clocked this, but when the mage, is that what she is talking to Dawson.
A witch, basically.
Yeah, a witch.
But she doesn't like that.
Yes. Okay, this was the right spot here. And she goes, Baltise, or you, says Baltise simply, I can smell another mage a mile away. But you, I cannot decide what you are.
I also have that tabbed.
What do you think she is?
Okay, so I have a lot of questions coming out of this book. And that is one of them. So we find out in this book that she is the princess.
Yes, her grandfather was plucked with a whole village away as
her grandfather was the king.
Was her grandfather king? I guess. Yeah, I heard her grandmother was the princess, was what I got. Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was? And then she's the princess of the princess. Okay. That makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Because...
Wait, no, you're totally right. Because they were like, oh, the princess wouldn't go with, and we were so sad that she didn't, but we had to put her in the village.
Yes.
Her grandmother was the princess. Her great-grandfather was a king.
Right. And so
there we go.
Her grandmother basically sacrificed herself with the entire village that was going to be plucked to be on the ledge. And she she never talked about. So the grandmother never talked about while
She
she was
kept
on the
it
ledge.
completely silent. Which, okay, how fucked up did you think that was? Or did you think that was good?
I don't know. I could kind of see that because, as other people mentioned, what was it going to do? What was it going to change?
They did.
You are up on the ledge. It's like, it's not like she was going to get preferential treatment. It's not like there was
Right.
anything that was worthy of noting. At that point, you were just another human who was being put in a bad situation. Like, what could have possibly come out of that would have been beneficial? But the only thing that I think is, I mean, clearly, was it Bartiz? Is that what her name is?
Mm-hmm.
Thinks that she's not just human. So that's the only question I had is,
Yep.
did Grandma know that she's not just human?
Well,
is there something else there? Is she part mage? Like, I think we've talked enough about, partial Glacians that I don't feel like she's going to be Glacian.
Right.
But it makes me wonder, like, what else? Is there something else out there? Or is she part mage, maybe? Or,
like, maybe there's some other, like, magical creatures that could be out there.
Right.
Well, so here's the thing that caught my eye with that brought up these questions. Ooh, it's thundering outside. Did you hear that?
Mm-mm.
It, like, I saw it lightning and then the thunder. Ooh. So when she went into the Akatar bathtub, aka the pool of Iskra, she knew how to trick it, quote unquote, to, like, do what she wanted it to do, and then she had these magical powers afterwards. So I was like, she already had that to begin with, and now she's just figuring out how to use it. And so part of me thinks that she always had something inside of her, because there is something to be said for, like, a main female character who is so strong like she is in her beliefs and in who she is as a person. And so I was like, does that come from a little bit of confidence that comes from magic?
That's a good question.
Could be.
I guess I felt like maybe she was more susceptible to the magic because of heritage.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like she had magic. My guess was she didn't have magic before coming there.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that, I mean, they talked, part of why she was more able to accept the magic of the way that they talk about it, the way that she was more able to accept the magic was because she was aware that it was coming, and she knew the magic was going to try and convince her to let go and just relax basically into the pool. And you can see the fight, in her mind of, like, oh, like, this would just be so much easier. Like, let me just not deal with this anymore, right? Like, you can see her own internal struggle
Clearly
in her thoughts as she's doing it. So I don't think it's necessarily like she was, I don't know. But I think maybe it made her more capable to get past that point.
Yeah, for sure. I'm like, there has to be something, because nobody in all of the years of the ledge, like, even her grandmother, well, okay, her grandmother got thrown off, but, like, or she threw herself off. But other people that have been, like, put into the pool, like, nobody has had that capability. So I'm like, why her?
I mean, that's true. Because I want to say, oh, well, she understood what was happening and had thought more deeply about what was happening. But they did say that there were other mixed breed, I don't even remember how they call them. Yeah, the mixed Glacians that they had used before they started using the humans. Yeah, so we learned that the half Glacians were being used to sacrifice their Iskra before the humans were. So, nice.
More wine.
Squeak.
More wine.
Squeak.
More
Squeak.
wine.
So, we find out that before the human queens, the two queens, which love a good queer representation, by the way.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, before the two queens had decided to sacrifice that village, that then became the people on the ledge. Wow, that is the most satisfying wine pour sound.
Do you want some, or do you want to wait until yours is empty?
I don't mind a mixed wine. Wait. Do it right in front. Right there.
Damn!
Nice. That was satisfying.
Do you remember last week when I cracked my glass from putting an ice cube in it?
She dropped an ice cube in the glass,
and it
cracked the bottom.
It goes, no.
It's like, no.
Nah, we're not going to.
You want to support Miss Willa's book club? Apparently we need wine glasses because we crack them.
We'll put them on our Amazon.
There you go.
We should create an Amazon wish list on like what books we're going to read and see.
Yeah, then if there's a book that you want us to read, look on our Amazon wish list, send it to us, and we will add it to the top of our reading list. That's a good idea.
This one's good too. This one is Melanie.
You mean kind of like honeydew?
Yeah. Like from Miss Willa's book club journal? Miss Willa Collins.
We love honeydew melon.
You taste like honeydew. There's a lot of whispering in this episode.
We got a lot to cut out of this episode.
I don't think so.
Got a lot to sound regulate in this episode. My cackle.
I'm cackling too. It is also thundering and lightning outside, and I can see it.
I love it.
And then I hear it. Oh my god, this is what I've been waiting for. I'm like, if we could just get some cozy fall weather, that would be great.
Right.
I'm tired of this 100-degree weather in Denver.
Yes.
Thanks. Bye.
I'll take the cold weather of the ledge right now over that 100
Okay, no, for real though. No.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, we're both from Minnesota.
Yes.
I will never move back.
No.
It is like deathly cold, and honestly, when I was reading this, I was getting Game of Thrones / Minnesota vibes.
The North remembers. Winter is coming.
I hope not. Honey, it's not even September yet.
That is the vibes I got from this book, though.
That is absolutely the vibes I got from this. Okay.
No, Ice Planet Barbarians, like, I'm gonna go back to this. I'm telling you, Ice Planet Barbarians, that was the vibes I got from this book. But, like, in the best possible way.
Yes. I love it. I literally said, wow, the imagery reminds me of Game of Thrones. Old Viking gear, lots of animal use for their clothing. I was like, I freaking loved this.
So, okay. Next book is coming out in what, like 3 weeks?
Like 3 weeks.
I'm so fun.
I didn't even know that we were that close to the next release date, which thank God, because I cannot wait.
Yeah.
On that freaking cliffhanger.
So what do you think is going to happen in the next book? So we talked about, we think Dawson is clearly not just human.
Else.
I think she's at least part mage, is my guess. But except that you know, Bartiz says, oh, well, you don't smell like a mage, right? Like, you just, I don't know what you are.
Maybe she's kind of like, if we think back to another series that we've recently kind of covered that we talk about all the time, they are like new creatures that have now just like come out that weren't really there for like thousands and thousands of years, and now they're these new creatures. Maybe she's something like that, where like, oh wow, we have history of this, but like we didn't know
it was going to come sometime soon. Oh.
Like a phoenix or something.
Yeah, like something that's kind of coming out of the blue. But
yeah, that has like magical powers or something.
Yeah, I feel like it's not going to be mage, and it's not, I don't think she's going to be part mage, and I don't think she's going to be part Glacian. I think it's going to be something else.
Agreed.
But what else do you think? So now the king has disappeared, but clearly not died.
He clearly, and if we don't see a body, they're not dead.
Yes, if we don't see a body, they're not dead.
Yes.
So we don't think he's dead, but they're kind of taking over like the power here.
Well,
what do you think's next steps there?
How crazy was it that the queen bitch was like, yeah, I'm the mastermind behind all of this. Ryan, you were supposed to fucking kill her.
Did you see that coming?
No.
I totally saw that the human queens were going to be like
villains.
Maybe bad.
Yes.
But
like that? Like betrayal?
But also that Ryan, like literally his throat was cut at the end. Like clearly he's going to get saved in some way. There's no way he's going to be dead.
Honestly, that's what my last prediction says too, is like he can't die. There's no way he can die. What the fuck? He's not dead. Come on. He's not dead. He's not. And I went on and on in my notes. He's not dead. He's not dead.
He's not dead. He's not dead. He's not dead.
Stacey, he's not dead.
If you kill him, we will kill you.
We will be so sad. Oh my God. I have to read Chasm just to make sure Ryan's not dead.
There's no way he's dead. He can't be dead.
He can't be dead. He can't be dead. He can't be dead.
Right.
Please tell us.
But
Also, she's been, like, interacting with us on Instagram, so, like, please tell us he's not dead.
Please tell us. We will read it in so few hours. Please.
I'll read it in 4 hours.
Let us know. Just let us confirm that he's not dead.
He can't be dead.
Please.
Give us an arc. Please.
I love Ryan.
I need to know right now. Like, this second. Like, tomorrow. Today.
This book was so addicting, though. But
Honestly,
I feel
good.
the same way. I think... Okay, I don't think he's dead, but
He has to be saved in some way.
But now,
Yes.
so I guess Dawson must be kind of captured by the human queen.
She's put in a cell.
So what do you think, like, beginning of Chasm, what do you think is going to happen to Dawson and everybody? What's your guess?
I like this. Okay, so I think that... Look at me. Getting predictions.
Look at you, predictions.
I'm coming up in the world, you guys.
She
Here I
doesn't do
come.
predictions.
Not at all. But in this one, I specifically was like, what is going to happen?
Yes.
So she is put in a cell, right? And at the very end, the magic goes, let me out. Let me help. And I was like, oh. Okay, so I think in the next book, it's going to start with her in the cell, and it's going to be her trying to get used to this, like, new magic that she's got.
Yes.
And so it's going to be like, let me help, let me do this. And so she's going to be, like, welcoming it in. Prediction, I think the magic is going to be bad. I think the magic is either going to be, like, working the way of the kings, or, I'm sorry, the king of Glacia, and it's going to be, like, working, like, what he wants to do. And so she's going to have to work against the magic, even though it's keeping her alive. Or I think that she's just going to, like, disregard the magic, and she's just going to try to get out on her own.
Remind me, you haven't read Daughter of No Worlds yet, right?
No, I haven't, but it's on my TBR.
Noted.
You have
That's
have you read
all
that
I
whole
have to
read
say.
that whole series?
Phenomenal.
Wait. You've read that whole series?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, honestly, this is kind of like the reaction that I had when you said, "Have you read Ravenhood?" And I said, "I'm reading Flock right now." And you're like,
Get a box of tissues ready. Nothing changed.
I haven't started the second one yet
I
because
hope you're ready. No, Daughter No Worlds also has got some pretty impactful, like, emotional moments, but it is a very, in my mind, feels like a very epic story. It's
really
like it's
like Throne
really,
of Glass epic.
kind of, yeah. Like it has.
It's 3, right?
Yes, it's a trilogy, which I think duology trilogy.
Oh,
Excellent length. Like I just think it's such a good length for a story to wrap up. But
4 in the sense of ACOTAR, 9 in the sense of Throne of Glass. But if you have a wrapped up series to just binge, I love it.
yeah,
Wait, have you read the novella between Serpent and the Wings of Night and The Ashes and the Starker's King?
no, I kind of forgot there was one, to be honest.
I did too. Apparently it's like the novella
Good.
between like the married couple in the middle. I don't remember their names. Remember they were like part of his like crew?
The ones that you don't know if you can trust, but then you
yeah.
can. That one.
It's about them. But then there are 2 more duologies coming out. So there's 6 books total in the Crowns of Nyaxia.
Do you know who they're for?
Nope. We know there's the House of Shadows, so it might be Mish.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And, goddamn, I would love a book on her. But then it's the House of Blood, which is... Who? People were just... So I was listening to some podcasts earlier, and they were saying that, like, the House of Shadows, they're hoping it's not Septimus.
There's no way.
I hope so, too. I don't want another book.
Who was the, like, prince that Mish had the bad experience with?
The House of Shadows.
I'm like, I wonder if maybe it'd be him in a redemption story.
He died. She killed him.
Did she?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
Slashed his throat.
Never mind.
Yeah. Damn. That's fucked up. Bless you. Bless you. Damn, girl. Bless you.
Excuse me. Okay.
All right.
Do we got
What
any
other thoughts do we have on Ledge?
Yes.
Other than, damn, this book was so good.
Okay, do we have any more
Who would you suggest this book to?
I think I would suggest Ledge to anybody. I know you said this before, kind of anybody who loves Throne of Glass, though. I think that's the right vibe. Like, this is a tiny bit spicier than Throne of Glass, right? Like, we definitely have a couple more spicy scenes, but I think in the same way that Throne of Glass really is a great, like, epic fantasy, but in a maybe, like, lower, I don't want to say lower pressure fantasy, but, like, an easier to absorb fantasy environment.
Yes.
I think that this book, like, Ledge really does a good job at being easy to digest in that way. And I think that that's really great. So if there's people who really love that, like, NA, like, new adult fantasy romance as a strong subplot book.
I loved how easy this was to get into.
It was really, it's just like, I thought Fourth Wing was a really easy entry to fantasy.
So easy to get into. It's not too off from our human realm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that Ledge was the same as Fourth Wing, and that it was a really easy entry to fantasy.
Hell yeah.
So
I love that.
I think that people who loved Fourth Wing would love Ledge.
Even though it's a different type of a fantasy.
Yes.
It's not Fourth Wing. It's a different type of fantasy, but if you like the world building in Fourth Wing, you will love this book. It was so easy to get into.
Right. Like, it's not dragons.
No.
It's not that type of fantasy. And it's not, like, school trials kind of things in the same way. Mm-hmm. But I think it is the same in that even though it is fantasy, it feels easy to accept. Like, the magic feels reasonable.
Absolutely.
If that makes sense.
And I loved how relatable that this story was. Mm. Because in all of the points that they would mention on, like, how she's feeling and what she's doing and everything, I was like, wow, these are very reasonable things for how I would feel, especially as a 24, 25-year-old, even as a 29, almost 30-year-old. I was like, damn, girl, you confirm your own views.
Do you think her sister's still alive?
The one who got taken by the Galatians?
Yeah, Mara? Isn't that what her name was?
Mm-hmm. I do question it because
she hasn't seen her.
She hasn't seen her. And she hasn't heard that when she went into the Iskra, she completely, like, disappeared. So maybe. I hope so. Because I feel like when we went into this, Dawson just lost
everything
and everybody. And so it was really sad. It was a really sad beginning to the story. And when she was taken, I honestly was just, like, hopeful that she would have, like, a better life. So I was just, like, hoping that she would hopefully, like, have something else out there. But, I mean, we'll see. Now she finally has, like, the found family. And, how found family, right? How did you like Salem and Ezra?
Love. They were
like people I would want to hang out with at the bar.
You've been reading Mistborn, right?
Yes.
How much of the crew have you met from Mistborn yet?
I feel like I've met all of them.
Did that family not remind you of the Mistborn family 1,000%?
Especially because I feel like Stacey did a phenomenal job of, like, you coming to the bar, eh?
There's a
girl.
Ezra, I feel like I don't want to ruin anything, so I won't use specific things. But Ezra in particular really reminded me of a specific character in Mistborn, and I'm assuming you've met them, but I don't know, so I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah.
But there's, like, a specific character in Mistborn that he, like, really reminds me of in the, like, kind of cockiness and, like, almost uses cockiness to ride over the insecurity or the nervousness about a situation, and I loved it.
I loved
that family.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Bringing up another thing, what do you feel about nicknames?
I know that you hate nicknames, but I love nicknames.
Oh!
I love him.
I loved the nickname she was giving him. She gave him half-breed. She gave him...
Hybrid. She kept calling him hybrid.
She kept calling him hybrid.
He calls her girl. I didn't really like girl.
Okay, that's what I was literally just going to ask you. Like, okay, what did you think of him calling her girl?
Yeah, I didn't really love girl.
I hated it. I hated it. To me, it was like a dad being like, what are you doing, girl? Okay, girl, go do this. And I was like, ew.
See, even grosser than dad, I got stepdad vibes. You're like, oh, girl, what are you doing?
Ew.
And really gross stepdad vibes.
It happened
over and over and over.
Until the end of the book. And I was like, ew, stop.
Even after they were together, and then he continues to call her girl. And I know they kind of try to play it off as funny. That was one thing, like I said, one thing I was not a fan of.
Did not like.
Yeah. I thought that was gross, especially in their spicy scenes when there's like any involvement of the word girl.
Maybe that's why it turned us off.
Did not like that.
Maybe that's why our spicy scenes were a little off, because in every single spicy scene he said, oh, do you like that, girl? Ew, no, girl, I don't like that. Ew, boy. Yeah, maybe it's that one word. One word can turn it all off.
What you think, girl?
Ew, no.
Do you want some of that, girl?
Ew, what? Stop.
What? You don't like a piece of that, girl?
Hey, do you want some of that, girl? That's how I pictured it in my head. It wasn't all seductive like you did it. It was like, you want that dick, girl?
You want that dick, girl?
Ew.
You want that dick?
No, it wasn't like that. It was like, you can take that, girl. And it was like the ew word of the girl. It was like, girl. Like, do you remember as we used to do with kids where it was like, girl in your hand? That's how I pictured it. Girl. Ew, gross. You could take that word out of the entire book and this would be a 10 out of 5.
Yes.
All right, Jenna, what other thoughts do you have on Ledge? Oh.
I know, I'm trying to think of what else. I feel like I had more thoughts that I thought of things that were going to happen, but now I'm...
Like predictions?
Like predictions, but I'm forgetting. Oh, what do you think is going to happen when the rest of Terra?
Tersa?
It's just Terr. Oh, there's an S in there.
Tersa.
I told you, I don't know how to...
Okay,
I can read, but I can't talk.
Hi, friends. I'm a pharmacist.
Hi, friends. I'm an engineer, and I can read words in my mind, but they don't sound the same out loud.
Hi, friends. I have to read doctors' writing in order to know what the actual medication is, and I have to know how to say all of the fucking weird words are.
Yeah, Shelby's better at this than I am.
I am, but I've always been good at like spelling bees and all that. I was in spelling bees from a middle schooler.
Just because I can spell it, don't mean I can say it.
I know how to spell it, and I'm really good at saying it too.
Yeah, so you better though. Okay, so
you guys can give me
Tersa.
Although I fucked up rice hand. And she was like, no. Reese. And I said, Reese. No, I will still say rice.
Well, she's wrong.
I am wrong. SGM said I'm wrong.
Okay.
Anyway.
Tersa. So, Tersa was spared the assault of the Galatians 50 years ago, right? That's what Dawson has figured out through this experience with the queens. So, what do you think is going to happen when the rest of the community of Tersa realizes that the queens sacrificed regular people to go there?
They already knew
No, but I mean, did they know all of it though?
They knew all
after?
of it. Yes, because when she was walking through the town center, they were, as soon as they knew who she was, they were like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But here's my prediction leading on to that. Leading on to that prediction, I think that what is going to happen, since they were like already noticing who she was, and they were like, oh shit, head down. Everybody knew, but they realized she's different than them. There is something else to her.
I'm different, yeah,
I'm different. I'm different. I'm different.
Sorry.
That was my song. That was my song in college. So thanks for bringing that back up.
Sorry about that.
But I really do think that, like, since something is different about her and everybody else knows it but her, because ultimate betrayal by everybody in the entire book. Everybody knows there is something different to her, and so everybody's, like, cowering, and everybody's like, oh my god, we cannot, like, shielding their eyes. So I'm like, what is it that everybody knows that you don't know? There's still more to come to learn about Dawson.
Right, like, I think there's something more about her grandma that we don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
That then impacts
For sure.
who Dawson is as a person. Because there's no way her grandma was just a regular-ass, meek human princess.
No.
Like,
there's
her
no
grandma
way.
had something else to her, and I think that that's why she stood up and was like, yeah, we're gonna make this happen.
Yeah, you
and
are going to be a strong-willed woman.
And I think in the next book, Dawson's going to be able to convince more of the hybrids or mixed breeds or whatever they want to call them.
Oh, yeah.
To pick up some of the humans from the ledge. But I do think it's going to be like I don't think they're going to be appreciative of it. I think there's going to be
they're going to be
tension.
worried. Absolutely. And so the original reason that Dawson went to the Queens to ask for help to bring the people from the ledge back is because she doesn't think that she'll be believed. Well, Jenna, do we have any other thoughts? I think this kind of wraps
Only
up.
that ledge, this book, consumed my life the last 24 hours.
Go read this book.
If you have not read this book yet, you need to read this before Chasm comes out in a couple weeks. Because
it comes out in, like, middle of September. Not that far.
You have to read this book. Also,
we love
Stacey.
We love
I want to read this book early. Let me know.
Please send us a box. We have to read it. We have to know what happens. We have to know what happens right now. Right now.
I need to know what happens to Dawson.
Oh my god. Oh.
Amazing.
Ledge. Love it.